The Senate Committee on Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions will come to order. And let me begin by thanking all of our panelists for being here for what will be, I think, a very important discussion for tens of millions of families in this country. You know, as a nation, we often talk about family values and how much we love our children, but unfortunately, we have a funny way of showing that love. In America today, we have the highest rate of childhood poverty of almost any major country on earth. And we have, as we will be discussing today, a broken and dysfunctional child care system. It is no great secret that the psychologists tell us that the most important years of human intellectual and emotional development are 0 through 4. That is what the psychologists tell us. Yet there are very few people, I think, who will come to the conclusion in this country that we provide our youngest children with the kind of love and care and attention that they need. And that really is disgraceful. The young people are the future of America, and in many ways we have turned our backs on them. We are the richest country in the history of the world, and there is no excuse, if we got our priorities right, why we should not be providing the highest quality of child care for the little ones and to ease problems for their parents. Again, I don't have to tell anybody who is here that in America today, the cost of child care for a variety of reasons is outrageously high and unaffordable to millions and millions of working class and middle class families. In Vermont, which I think it's about the national average, it's about $15,000. Here in D.C., as your staff will tell you, if you have any kids who have staff, if you have any staff who have children, they will tell you, you know what child care is in D.C.? It's about $30,000 a year, which is very, very high. Imagine $30,000 a year if you got a 2-year-old. And how can a working class family, people make $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year, afford to spend $15,000 a year on child care or even more? And the result of that is that, according to a recent survey, 40% of parents in America have gone into debt due to the cost of child care, and nearly 30% have had to make unacceptable choices of paying for child care or paying their rent or mortgage. In other words, you want to have a kid in America and you're working class? Well, we're going to make you pay for that, boy. You're going to go deeply in debt. Thank you for having a child. Not exactly what I think we should be doing as a nation. All over, not only is the cost of child care outrageously high, for families in most parts of this country, it is very, very difficult to find a slot. And I will not surprise anybody on this committee, because you've all heard the story. People get pregnant, and the first thing they do is call up a child care center or a place trying to find a spot. And they're told, well, maybe, but in all likelihood, you'll be on a waiting list. And the other point that I would make is not only that child care is terribly expensive, not only that is that there are not enough slots. If we appreciate the kids and we understand how important care is for the little kids, obviously the conclusion is you're going to respect the people who work with the children, who you can argue do some of the most important work in America, nurturing the little children. And yet we are paying in this country those workers outrageously low wages. We're paying them starvation wages. And we're talking about paying people $13, $14 an hour. And the result of that is tens of thousands of people are leaving the profession. They can make more working in McDonald's than they can nurturing our little children. And the last point that I would make is, if you think this is just about the little children and you think it's about the parents, you're wrong. It's also about the economy. All right. Now, nobody has the exact numbers, but I have heard that there are at least many, hundreds of thousands of people, mostly women, who would like to enter the workforce. They can't, because they cannot find quality, affordable child care. Now, we made progress in the American Rescue Plan. Finally, the United States Congress said, you know, we appreciate our children, we appreciate our workers, we appreciate our parents, we're going to do something about it. And we significantly increased funding for child care. Not enough, but we made some progress. And right now, though, we are at a precipice where that funding may disappear. That funding kept over 200,000 child care providers in business, sustained child care for nearly 10 million kids, and prevented 1 million child care workers from losing their jobs. That's the good news. The bad news is that if Congress does nothing, this funding will expire on September 30th of this year, making a very bad situation worse. We cannot afford to allow that to happen. We need to renew that vital funding. But let us be clear, that is not all we need to do. We need a vision for all those that the family values. We need a vision for the future which understands that every family in America has the right to high-quality, affordable child care, that child care workers deserve decent pay for the important work that they do, and that we must expand the number of child care programs available so that anybody in America can get the quality care they need. So I look forward to working with all of my colleagues on this committee to make that a reality.